Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new series. This is a brand new world instead of a brand new series in the mod pack called Harmonious Engineering. Harmonious Engineering is a mod pack that I've been working on since the beginning of the year, really. And I didn't play the version 1 slash version 2, which were for 1.16, because I was too busy with Enigmatica to really invest my time in another Let's Play or to end that one early, even though we did anyway. But this, however, has been a 1.18.2 pack I've been working on for about 2 months now, and I think it is really just in a great position to start playing. So I figured we could start a new Let's Play on this pack. This pack only has about 140 mods, so it is significantly lighter weight, runs a little bit better. We're able to utilize rubidium and a couple of other mods to really crank the performance up to 11, and it's got a handful of mods that you probably have never seen me use before. Alright, so to get started in this pack, we're going to need to go through the quest book. So in the quest book, we're going to see we've got two branches of quests available. So the first one is, of course, just a rocky start, kind of letting us know, hey, we're getting into some kind of stinky territory. Things are going to get a little bit difficult. So I won't read a lot of these, but basically the premise of this pack is that it is from the perspective of you, the player, being a amateur engineer, slowly developing your technologies and your abilities up to the ability to even go so far as to go to space. And so in that process, you're going to get a lot of these journal entries from this third-party entity, which are the quests. But the quests are sort of twisted in this context where it's like, hey, we've noticed you've been doing this, or hey, you know, here's some things that our other researchers have found, or some quest lines will tell you, look, we haven't done any research here, or we cannot get anything in this territory to sort of help you along. So that's the sort of premise that this pack goes on. So let's go ahead and get started. Off the bat already, I see quite a few tasty little critters, and by tasty, I of course mean delightful. They're so cute. I love their textures. I love their models. Yes, that's an otter, just being cute as can be. But we have fireflies. We have a handful of other little entity mobs. We've got koi and some other fish. And so yeah, let's do the Minecraft thing and cut down a tree. So unlike Harmonious Engineering 1 and 2, which were both for 1.16, but 2 was a major refactor, unlike those, this version allows you to use your incorrect tools for blocks. So in this case, you can use your hand on bare wood. It feels a little more like Minecraft, but we also don't have any tool mods. So there's no tinkers, there's no tetra, there is basically none of that. What you're expected to do instead is either do the vanilla thing, which is honestly not a bad system, or there is a system built in that allows you to upgrade your tool, keeping the enchantments as you go. So you can find a tool you really like and keep it for the longest time and take it all the way up to the netherite tier just through the smithing table. So yeah, I think that will be a little more enjoyable for a lot of people. I've already heard some good feedback on it and think it is a decently good mechanic to keep around. For World Gen, which is why we see a stone slab here, not particularly helpful, but you know, it is what it is. The circumstances behind the World Gen currently are that we're using Terralith for the overworld, we're using Nullscape for the end, and we're using what is it? Infernal Expansion and the expanded Nether data pack for the Nether. So not only do we have Infernal Expansion, but the Nether is also 256 blocks tall rather than 128. So that means that the bedrock layer has been pushed up. That's a sleeping bear. And along with that comes the benefit that there's a whole lot more to explore as you go, which is really fun. We have several dimension data pack, or several structure data packs, several structure mods, and quite a bit of tech that we can get into. But right now, we are big dummies. We don't really know much of anything of tech at the moment, so we're going to have to get ourselves up to that tier at the moment. Let's go ahead and make the classic trio. I don't know why I did that so clumsily. And this lunch bag we got in the intro quest is just a bunch of food that we can keep along with us as we go. It'll keep us going while we explore, because I did, in designing this pack, I really wanted to motivate players to run around and explore and see what's out there. So yeah. I am going to go ahead and take down this cow. Cows will drop a decent bit of leather extra compared to what you would normally expect in vanilla. And of course that's affected by looting. So you can see we've already gotten quite a bit of hide uh, compared to usual. Now, the reason that I would want hide is multifold. So there's a handful of quests in this opening segment that will tell you sort of what you're looking for. There is the food book from Spice of Life Carrot Edition, which will tell us that as we eat food, we'll get little particle effects like that that say, hey, you haven't eaten this food yet, but you just did. Good job. So you'll see this has not been eaten, but this now has, and it will track that. And once we get to a certain point, we'll get more and more hearts as a result, as sort of a reward for trying out new foods. This is Carrot Edition, so you don't have to keep on varying your foods once you've tried enough foods to get up to max health, which is 20 hearts. Then you just don't have to try any more foods. You can just eat bread for the rest of your playthrough if that's what you really want. Personally, I like to do complicated Farmer's Delight foods because we do have Farmer's Delight, but that's just me. So right now, I think I'm going to go for a sleeping bag. So let's take down the sheep real quick. Woof. Getting a little bit of lag from the world gen. Since it is Terralith, there is a lot going on. These pigs really want to see what I'm all about because I'm currently holding a carrot. But I do see some copper over here, so I'm going to grab that copper because I think that could be helpful for tools and armor. Because you can do both. With Tools Complement, you're able to do a full suite of armor and tools with all of the most popular materials. So that's copper, tin, silver, lead, nickel. I think you can even do Constantin, if I remember correctly. So it gives a lot of use to these early game materials like copper, because now I can make a full armor set right off the bat. Mind you, you would think that, but this is where the twist of Harmonious Engineering gets to. Harmonious Engineering is designed to motivate you to progress by making mechanics that you're expecting to be one way kind of stink. So I mentioned, we've got this raw copper and was mentioning how we might be able to utilize the raw copper to make a full armor set. Well, the joke is on all of us because if I were to try to smelt this, I would only get 3, count them, 3 nuggets. If I blasted it, I would get 4. But what we have to do if we wanted to get 1-to-1 is we have to start by either crushing our raw copper, which we can then smelt, or we would use the immersive engineering crusher, or we would use the pulverizer. So these are basically the only tech mods that we'll be able to utilize are, immersive and create and thermal to do our bidding. And it sounds like that would be easy to do. But in fact, it is not quite so easy to do because create, especially some of the brass tier stuff, is actually going to require you to get quite a bit into immersive, which is one of the most frequently skipped mods that I see in a lot of mod packs. I know Harmonious Engineering 2, I watched a handful of streams of from a couple of my friends and a couple of people who were playing, and I noticed that it was, ooh, that is danger, but also fun stuff. Oh, a village, perfect. But I did notice that people tended to kind of just gloss over the immersive components as much as they could. Now, we do have vanilla tweaks, v-tweaks, but we do not have the peaceful surface feature turned on. So I'm going to have to sleep or else we're going to get bombarded with mobs, which is part of why we have Spice of Life in the first place, is to sort of make that a little bit easier. We've got some robins. I believe those guys are from Naturalist. And we do have a couple of fun mod updates coming up in the next pack update. We will see sort of what that turns into. But I definitely think that, sort of as I mentioned when I started up with the Enigmatica Let's Play, these Let's Plays are going to be a little more crude, not a whole lot of video editing like I used to do like 3 years ago because I just don't have time, to be frank. Ooh, okay, so I'll explain this in a minute. But point is, this episode is going to be very, standard Let's Play-ish. That's a lot of compressed iron. That is unbelievable. So let me explain the quest line. At this point, we're in vanilla, and our research progress tells us that all we have is vanilla with a couple little nice little add-ons, and then pneumatics. Well, pneumatics want me to learn about making compressed iron, which is by exploding a piece of iron, and there is a 20% chance to lose that iron in the conversion, and that will get us compressed iron. But since we just picked it up out of this chest, as well as a handful of other components, I'm going to snag because we are here and we're going to need them. Charging station is not particularly high priority to me. I will take the pneumatic wrench though. As we go through and take these items, you're going to see we're going to get a couple of quests because they are generally just helpful to have. So what we're going to see is in the main research line, we now have completed the pneumatics chapter because technically this is like the bare minimum that we need to learn about pneumatic craft, but we will want to try to get andesite alloy. And you can see the problem with getting andesite alloy is that it is here in the pressure chamber that you'll craft it, and there's no other way to do it. So that's sort of the goal of this pack, is to force you to keep machines around rather than retiring them for smaller and more compact things, because really this mod pack is meant to be not only like, you know, a level of balance that I'm looking for, right, but there's also as a mod dev myself, and then as someone who chats with a lot of other mod devs, I see a lot of times that certain mods go greatly unappreciated when they're in certain mod packs or with other mods. Immersive engineering, like I said, usually gets skipped for the most part if thermal is around or if mechanism is around. So this pack makes you sit there and enjoy every single bit of content in a... Oh, hello, Paul. Every single bit of content in a mod, or at least a large amount of it, and you will not have a choice to get rid of it at some point for a lot of things. There are some things that I've made convenience recipes for because, like, for example, the arc furnace, you're going to need some brass, but you're not going to need to auto-craft like an insane amount of brass. And if you do, it's not terribly difficult to auto-craft. But that is most certainly not the case for some of the other recipes that I've created, such as silicon, where you will greatly regret having to constantly make silicon and quartz-infused iron from refined storage if you're going to have to do it in the arc furnace all the time, just because of the sheer amount of energy it takes. So for that, I have allowed the another machine to take that place for that recipe, but you know, that's not an option that you'll have for a very long time. Come on. I'd like to steal this armor and put it on, because that is a nice free iron armor set. Thank you, guys. So these villages, you can tell, have been revamped again by a data pack. I don't understand why there's a piece of glass just sitting there. Might be a flaw in the data pack. I don't know. But yeah, there is a lot to see in this pack. There are a lot of data pack compatibilities that have been put in here. So we are going to definitely utilize those. And I'm going to utilize this. Common projectiles I don't really need. I'm going to utilize this to store some of our valuables that we found already. I've got a lot of other stuff in here that's not as important, but these crates can be broken and will retain their drops. Now, I believe what we're going to want to look into is a backpack. And with the piece of iron we just found, I bet I could get some string. And then we could make ourselves a backpack. In the meantime, I'm just going to continue to look around and grab what I can, because there's just quite a lot here. There have been a lot of distractions abound, but this little man, it's a snail. And when I step away, it will feel confident enough to keep scooting on. What a small little baby friend. So I've been looking around. There has been definitely a decent bit of stuff to grab, so I'm most certainly thrilled. There are a couple of things that I have not yet visited, and I'm also grabbing bookshelves where I can because I hate making books. I don't think anyone in the world enjoys making books. They are just kind of the biggest pain to do, so I have been trying to avoid that as much as possible. I have not yet found any string, however, I believe it will be nighttime soon, so we will probably not have any issue with that here shortly. I will try to consolidate food as much as I can. And I'm trying to grab little decorative blocks as I go as well. Like if I see a flower pot, I'm not worried about the flowers so much because you see them all the time. But I really I've been trying to build a little bit more decoratively, as I'm sure you noticed in the uh, Enigmatica Let's Play. But this has come at the cost of me kind of looking at everything as a potential building material, which isn't a bad thing by any means. Whoops. So these will sometimes. Ooh, hey, hello. I do like crates. The structures here will have a lot of different variants that you may come across as you go. So that's always something fun to look forward to. Is kind of looking to see what are you going to get out of the next structure that you find, out of the next village that you find, for example. I was going to come over here because these have a lot of fun things. This is the church, one of two. These churches have parkour. So you may be looking around wondering how does one parkour? I'm wondering the same thing. I do see some diamonds on the wall. I'm probably not going to take those. I don't really see, with how easy the rest of this pack is as far as tools go, I almost feel like it defeats the point of grabbing every single free piece of loot that I find. Personally, I know that a lot of people are probably going to freak out at me for not grabbing that, but I am not really all that concerned. I did grab 8 blocks of coal from one of the structures, though, so we'll be okay on coal for a minute. We're going to need a lot of coal, though, which is the only downside of this pack is that there is just hard, uh, a strong requirement for a lot of resource gathering. I'm gonna eat so that I stop stripping stuff. I keep accidentally stripping logs and stuff. Alright, so we do have nighttime finally. Ooh, that is a lot of roses. I'm going to see if I can find myself a spider. And then we can also talk about a couple of the mobs and a couple of the features of those mobs. So creepers have been revamped completely using a mod called Creeper Overhaul by Juice. That's why this guy here has an interesting animation. And then VTweaks has had a recently new feature where if creepers do blow up, it's going to destroy the blocks, but you notice nothing dropped. It's because it'll come back. So that's kind of a fun way to make it so that creeper explosions are consequential, but not necessarily game ending or even an annoyance. It's just like worst case scenario out of that situation is that a torch falls and you'll have to replace a torch or something that relies on a block to be underneath it or beside it. If it didn't get blown up by the explosion, but the block that it was sitting on did, then you would have to replace that block. But that's like a teeny tiny inconvenience compared to the full inconvenience of a creeper explosion. I have already been here. Noted. It's a good thing I slept, because I'm getting my butt handed to me. Or rather, I didn't sleep, but I did set a respawn point. But we should have what we need now to make a backpack. So let's do that, because as you can see, we are already suffering from inventory issues. So a backpack is going to be, I've been keeping a lot of the iron that we keep finding. We're actually doing really well on resources. But this will get us a backpack, and the backpack goes in the backpack slot. And if I hit B, you can see we get 4 rows. And unlike the default configurations, I have specifically made it because I feel like inventory management in Minecraft is obviously very abysmal, and I want to do something about that. I've made it so that anything that stores an inventory inside of it can also go in here, unlike the default configurations. So lunch bags can go into there, lunch bags can go, or sorry, these are technically just satchels, but they can go anywhere. I don't personally care where they go, because I don't think that that should matter in a game so inventory starved. So just, you know, expressing a couple of my thoughts and concerns along the way. I'm going to clean up a little bit. I do want to keep some blocks on me, but there's some stuff that I just don't need. I actually might just eat the spider eye for the sake of the sparkles, because that will get us more health as we go. And let's go ahead and just put that there. Now, isn't that better already? And so we'll keep a couple of these things on us just because they are pretty useful. There you go. You can see I gained 2 hearts because I tasted a new, different selection of things. So if we look over here, you can see already tasted 5 foods. Shoot. Well, that's what happens. I'm not too concerned, though. We do have zeros, and we do have death points as a result. We also have corpses. I think my corpse should be okay. I actually haven't tested it with the creeper explosion mechanics. Yep, we're good. So there's my poor dead body. Unfortunately, trinkets slash curio don't know how to travel over into your inventory, but that's okay. And I think we are good. Now, looking into the quest line, we will get a lot of nuggets of experience. This is for a reason. I'm personally going to save my nuggets of experience. I'm not going to use them right now, and that's sort of the reason why you get nuggets instead of getting just plain experience, is because I like the ability that nuggets of experience drop actual experience entities. So if you have any mending tools, they will be repaired by that experience. Whereas if you just give the player experience, you actually will not get any reparation to your tools. And then the second reason that I do this is because I think it's nice that you can sort of bank it up and save it until you get yourself a XP storage device, whether that be a memory stick or what's the other thing from thermal, the insightful crystal. So yeah. Oh, it looks like there's a large andesitic blob here. That actually kind of useful. Could actually be quite useful. So I'm going to grab a little bit of this because you're going to need andesite to create andesite alloy anyways. So what I'm going to do, one thing that I hadn't done yet, is I'm going to re-enable the mini-map. I had turned it off just because on the server I've been playing on when testing, I haven't needed it. But I do think that the mini-map does add some value here. And if we look at just the map overall, you can see that there is definitely a lot of interesting stuff over there. So why don't we go check that out? I will report back. I did just come across this. You can see that's the village. I did not go far, and I found this. Like I said, there's lots of structures here. You can see wither roses, because this was clearly a circle of some sort. And in the center of the circle, you'll find a handful of other things. So compressed armor is just a tiny bit better than normal armor. It has, I believe, the same durability. Actually, it has a little more. It has some armor toughness and some knockback resistance. So very nice. So I've got to say, I think we got really lucky with this seed because I found oil here, which will be used in pneumatic craft. I found a little water supply here going into a waterlogged cave, an aquifer, if you will. And I think that's the continuation thereof. There's this lovely little river here. And then there are all sorts of trees and forests along here. There's mostly a flat area along here with some different texture and stuff. I think this could be a really great area to settle down in. Wow, that is a lot of koi fish. Hello, friends. I think this would be a really great area to settle down in. I do like the space that we have here, and I don't see any reason not to. My only thoughts are that this is pretty vanilla. So what I might do is I might set a waypoint here and see what we can find that might be a little more extravagant, a little more interesting, because I do like it here for sure. But we didn't have to go far from spawn at all, so this was our spawn area over here. Oh, apparently there was a nether portal. Oh well. This was the village we were just at, and this is where we've made it to. So this is not very far. I think I may, in fact, come back. Set a waypoint here and continue the exploration just to see what there is to see. Well, for one, there's a leaf insect. So I think this is a safe place to be because I see an iron golem. We'll find out. I hear one, nope, I see potential death. Nope, no thanks. Why is that cohabitated? Oh man, I've had those guys absolutely ruin my day before, so I am like, nah, nope, no thank you, no. Strange. Strange that they're inhabiting that area, but I do see another village. Let's go check that out, especially in a new snowy area, because these can be... these snowy areas look pretty standard a lot of times, but you'll see, like, first of all new villages. But second, there are a couple of other really fun components that I don't think were even a part of the Enigmatica series. So we have Snow of Real Magic, which is a mod that integrates snow more cleanly into the blocks around it. So you can see that all of these are just standard Minecraft tall grass, but they are snow logged. So if I had a shovel, which I unfortunately do not, I could actually separate the snow from the grass, which is, I think, just a really fun little take. If I were to You're not actual snow, you're trap snow. Let's grab some snow from off the ground. And if I do... Come on. If I took this snow and I applied it to the ground around these bushes, you can see that they will now be occupying the same space as that snow. And similarly, I believe I can, yep, pull the snow right off. Oh, those are fun too. These are ice spirals that have a little bit of loot in them. Honestly, the loot isn't that great, so I'm not going to really bother. But they are most certainly fun nonetheless. I can make my own smoker. This place feels really cozy though. Like, just all these structures feel outstanding. What's in here? Oh, the freezer. I like it. I like that. Well, I guess I'll explore this and report back anything cute or fun or interesting. This feels like a custom build on a server. I'll take the upgrades, sure. I knew it. There's a secret. What is... Oh. Okay, these I'll take, because I actually did have to, think critically to find those. Not all that critically. I see a painting I immediately distrust. So yeah, I'll just keep grabbing stuff while we're here, because there's, like I said, a decent bit of loot here to kind of get us going. So I just found TNT in this guy, so I think this is meant to be a quarry. You can see a little hole here and that the button would have gone up to it. I, however, am going to steal their TNT. I will still put it here, that's fine, but I want to steal it to make some of the, well, goodbye, compressed iron. Now this is fragile glass. Actually, come to think of it, I don't have a flint and steel. So I will have to yoink this button over here and put this down. I don't think you can put buttons on TNT. Oh, no, you can. Never mind. So we will put that there. No, not... Oh, good grief, you dingus. That there. And there we go. Compressed iron. So that will get us the successful compression recipe, or quest reward. And that's going to get us a couple of different things. Let me clean up the inventory, though. But because we did things a little bit out of order, we will now receive a quest for not only we already did this, but we also get the Under Pressure quest reward. And that will leave us open to a couple of other options. So at this point, we need to start building out our pressure wall, which we'll do when we get back to base and set something up. And then we'll need to use that to either go into create or go into some later level items. It just depends. It does look like we've been looting quite a bit, though, which, it's why I'm here, so that makes sense. But actually, I have set my spawn there, which is good. I'm going to go fight some spiders because I need more string to get more inventory. So here are some snow creepers. These guys are, I believe they're generally neutral. Yeah, these guys are friendly. I couldn't remember. Now I remember, and I feel really bad that I killed a guy who wasn't even doing anything and had no plans and no ability to do anything if he wanted to. Oh well, such is life. But I've been going through and grabbing what I can to see. That's not the engineers, right? That's the... Oh, it is the engineer's workbench. I'll take that. But yeah, it looks like there's still quite a lot of good stuff around, but I do want that string so that we can get ourselves a tool belt. And a tool belt will allow us to further consolidate our inventory quite a bit by means of hot swappable item storage. sort of, kind of. Some blue jays. I think I see a spider over there. You gotta be careful because sometimes this snow is not real snow, which is a really mean thing to do if you ask me, but I believe for a tool belt, we're gonna need two, and then for every, they come with upgrades, right? So these upgrades, these pouches, should show up in JEI. Yeah, here we go. The pouches cost gold and a lot more string, so I don't think we're going to be able to get many of those at the moment. But I do believe that we are getting close to the end of this episode, so what I'm probably going to do is get the rest of the string that I'm needing for at least a base tool belt really quickly. And then once we have, which I think is probably right around now, unless this guy's a jerk. Nope, not a jerk. Let's get that tool belt made up and applied. I believe we can get a couple of things stored up in there. And then I'll head back to our future base location and call it an episode there. And then next episode, we'll start to build out a base and some very simple technologies to go with that. All right, so for a base tool belt, we will just need that. And I believe the quest is even so kind as to give us more XP so that when we get our pouches on, we can use up some of that XP. So if I hit the F key while holding an item that can not stack, that is a tool item, I can put it away really quickly. So what I might do is put the lunch bag there and then put like the hoe there for now. And now I'm going to go through and consolidate things, and I'll meet you back up at the new base about 1,000 blocks away. So I can't explain it, but this bear is chasing me and is angry. I don't know what I did. I don't know if it's because of the baby. But we're going to have to kill it, unfortunately. I never like killing entities, especially neutral ones that don't tend to do anything, but I guess somehow I got too close. But I wanted to show you just how satisfying cutting down these trees are, especially with snow real magic, because snow doesn't destroy itself, it falls. So you can see everything, those pebbles got covered in snow when those leaves broke. So just something that I find really cathartic. I don't know, just me, I guess. I'm almost back. You can see we're not that far away, and I noticed this really cool, really deep cave. I believe I see some spider webs down there too, which tells me this might be a spider cave of sorts. What was that? Oh, hello, it's a ferret. Now, ferrets can be tamed. I don't remember how. I'm going to look into that. So ferrets require raw rabbit, and I don't think I have any. So we're going to leave these guys behind for now, but we will come back because once tamed, they will help us hunt, which I think could be fun to have some little ferret friends with us. Plus, they're just incredibly adorable. You can't deny it. So yeah, this is the area. I think this is going to be a great place to wrap up the episode. I've been gathering some resources just sort of as I've been coming back. Been grabbing some wood, been grabbing a couple of different wood variants and plenty of saplings. Picked up some feathers and some wool using some shears that I made because I wanted to get a bed set up over here. So let's set up said bed. I will also take some black wool just for fun. I have no idea what color bed I should make. What? Do these make a color? They do not. Okay, fair enough. They are wildflowers, so they don't really have one potent color or another. It looks like our choices are going to be pink. Ah, here we go. Some more interesting colors. Do we do a classic red bed? I personally prefer bluish tones, but let's grab red. Blue daisies, can you be turned into blue? You can. Hey, there we go. There we go. Now we're getting into color. If I could find white. Well, of course you would make light gray and not white. Why would you make white? That doesn't make any sense. Well, I guess we'll settle on blue. Blue is totally fine. So, oh, there's a cornflower over there too. Perhaps daisies? Yeah, there we go. Light blue is my preferred color for beds, personally. So let's set ourselves a spawn point over here with a fixed color bed. in light blue, and there we go. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I, again, really apologize about how Enigmatica 6 ended up. I can't really help it if a giant mod pack with a very busy world kind of starts to get bogged down. This mod pack is not giant, and it has a lot of mechanics to help mitigate performance issues. So hopefully that'll help. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next episode, and thank you so much for watching.